Hi, everybody. Nice seeing you again. I'm giving you some more information. I wanted to talk about a couple things that are going to appear in your Canvas, and they are going to be supplemental materials. I'm not necessarily going to test on them. Again, there's not a lot of testing in this curriculum. It's more about you going through exercises and going through questionnaires and things like that to discover those things that you do really well, things that you need to work on, and how to get better at them. We are really looking at giving you skills and giving you opportunities to explore more than perfecting those skills. And so I want to take a few minutes and talk about a couple of authors and some concepts that will be woven into here. If we were in a regular classroom face to face, I would talk about them a lot more. I don't have time to do that, but I want you to know that I want you to get some of the information. So if you wanted to go out and on your own time begin reading some of these authors and listen to some of the things that they have to say, you'd find out how effective they are. If you look back at the history in the last 40 or 50 years of sports psychology and the power of positive thinking, one of the first ones that you'd have to come up with is a man by the name of John Wooden. John Wooden won 10 national championships as an NCAA Division I basketball coach. He coached at the University of UCLA, and he's famous for a piece of work called the Pyramid of Success. John spoke almost 40 years on that. He spent 40 years developing it. I've written it in here, and I've also included it in a handout so that you can take a look at it and read the things that he says about that. I'll also give you a little reading on that. But he talks about down here industriousness, friendship, loyalty, cooperation, and enthusiasm were the base of his pyramid. That those things had to happen. You had to be possessive of those and be conscious of those to be able to build this idea of success. The next level, he has self-control, alertness, initiative, and intentness, being very intent about what you're doing. His third level was condition, skill, and team spirit. His fourth level was poise, confidence, and his fifth level was competitive greatness. And there's lots of things written in there, and you'll have a handout and you can read about that. The thing I want you to take away from John Wooden, and you're going to watch a little TED talk that he has, he says this: success is the peace of mind which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. John Wooden made that statement famous, that you've done your very best to do your best. And if you've done those things, then you are a success. It doesn't necessarily mean that you won the gold medal. It doesn't mean that you got first prize. But what he was trying to say there was knowing that you've committed yourself in all of your abilities to be the best that you can be, that makes you a winner. And as you look at that, you're going to find that that is a big part of what you're going to learn as we work our way through this USOC Guidelines Handbook. The next author I want to talk about is a guy by the name of Dr. Dennis Waitley. Dr. Waitley is still alive. Waitley was the director of the United States Olympic Center's psychology program when I was there, and he wrote a number of books, but four that I would recommend. The first one is The Psychology of Winning, and The Psychology of Winning was his first one. The second one was The Winner's Edge. The third one is The Seeds of Greatness. And the fourth one is The Dynamics of Goal Setting. And if I had to select one book that I would suggest you go buy and read, it would probably be this one right here, The Seeds of Greatness. That book right there has an amazing ability to clearly define, to help you understand how to think and how to be successful. Dr. Waitley was the man that I first got trained under. Very dynamic, very interesting. He was a Blue Angel pilot in the Air Force. He was a remarkable individual in his own right, and he had a lot of success. And the United States Olympic team had a lot of success as he was directing some of that traffic at the time. The third one is a concept that we'll talk about, and one that I've taught with my teams a lot. It's called the triangle of success. Very simple, but the idea is really simple. It's your attitude, how you look at things, how you perceive things. There's actually three parts of that, and you'll get a chance to look at that. But basically, how your attitude towards yourself, your situation, and others will determine your actions. There is no way that your body can be successful if your mind doesn't take it there. And so this little concept of the triangle of success is your attitude will determine your actions will determine your accomplishments. You can't say to your body, you're going to do great things, you're going to throw the hammer, 175 feet if your mind doesn't begin to believe it. The body follows the mind. And oftentimes in this, the conversation circles around current dominant thought theory. Current dominant thought theory is that which you're thinking about is most likely to happen. If you go to bat and you're worried about this pitcher's curveball and you're thinking that you're going to have a hard time hitting that curveball, you're probably right. You're going to have a hard time hitting that curveball. Current dominant thought theory has been explained in a number of ways by a number of leaders. One of the quotes that I've always liked about it is the conversation where it says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. And so these three different concepts, this Dr. Whately in his books and his writing, John Wooden and what he taught, and this idea of the triangle of success and current dominant thought theory, those are things that are going to be interspersed and mixed into our curriculum this quarter, along with the USOC's actual nuts and bolts of how I walk my way through it. And what you're going to find is your brain determines a lot of what you can tolerate and what you can get through. And we'll tell other stories and we'll talk about that as we go. But I wanted to give you some ideas. If you want an extra reading or this summer, if some of this stuff really finds passion with you, John Wooden has a number of books out and Dr. Whately has a number of books out. The two that I like the most is The Seeds of Greatness and The Winner's Edge. Psychology of Winning is good too, but if I had to pick one, it's The Seeds of Greatness. And you can get them. We just looked them up on Amazon, $4 a piece. These are men that are not teaching in the latest. Matter of fact, John Wooden has passed away. Dr. Whately is kind of retired now, but his materials are just as relevant today as they ever were. Okay? Hope this helps you a little bit. We'll talk again in the future. Have a great day.